25 years ago, Bill Fotherby made a phone call that changed English football. The former Leeds United managing director asked about the availability of Manchester United defender Denis Irwin. By the end of the day he had managed to send Eric Cantona on his way to Old Trafford. Eric Cantona's move from Leeds to Manchester United changed the course of English football. Bill Fotherby has no regrets about making the call which led to Cantona being sold to United. Related articles previous. 1 Next. Brighton can win at Old Trafford, claims Chris Hughton ahead. Manchester United legend Eric Cantona, Jose Mourinho will. Swansea boss Paul Clement insists his job is safe despite. Manchester United ace Juan Mata keen to emulate Ryan Giggs. Share this article. Share. 238 shares script DM.later, bundle, function, if, DM.rotator, new DM.rotator, P22, pages size, 1, page count, 1.0, active class, active, rotate, false, $, number P22.share, .on, click, function, dms.facebook.post top, related. Fotherby does not regret ringing up his Manchester United counterpart Martin Edwards after a request from then Leeds manager, Howard Wilkinson. We were struggling, says the 86-year-old, still proudly wearing his Leeds blazer when we meet at his home in Harrogate, North Yorkshire. Howard said to me, "Bill, you know Martin Edwards, can you ring and ask him if there's a chance we could have Denis Irwin?" Edwards says, "Oh Bill, there's no chance of getting Denis Irwin, no chance at all." But he asked whether we'd let Cantona go. "Impossible. You must be crazy," I replied, "he's a star. Will be hung, drawn and quartered." Fotherby spoke to Sportsmail reporter Amitai Winehouse about his time at Leeds United. The 86-year-old was part of the Leeds setup that helped them to the 1992 league title. Wilkinson was out looking for a new home in Leeds, so Fotherby spoke to one of his coaches, Mick Hennigan. All the conversations with Howard and Mick Hennigan were, "If you can get Cantona out of Leeds, get him out," reveals Fotherby. On our training ground they would go through set plays and moves. Howard was very strict. He would say, "You, Cantona, you stand in front of the centre half." Cantona would reply, "I don't do this." Fotherby mimes someone spitting. He wouldn't stand there and head the ball. He walked off. This made them want him out. He was causing a little bit of friction. So I went to Hennigan, I told him the story. He said, "Bill, if you can." I didn't tell Howard, left it a few hours and rang Martin back. "I can't believe what Howard just said to me," I said, bluffing. "He'll let him go, but I want £1.5 million." Fotherby admits Leeds couldn't afford to keep Cantona after signing him for £500,000. Fotherby admits the club could not afford to keep Cantona after paying a fee of £500,000 to sign him permanently in August 1992. He continues, "I don't think I'd have changed anything. The relationship I had with Howard, whatever he suggested to me, I did. We were very tight for money at that time. It was done that night. And then all hell was let loose." Months earlier, Leeds had been crowned champions of England. Everyone had assumed the 1991-92 season would bring Alex Ferguson's first title at Old Trafford, but unfancied Leeds had other ideas. "Everyone was sky high," Fotherby recalls. "Ferguson used to say to me, 'I Willie, how are you Willie?' To win that championship, especially from Manchester United." Cantona poses with the United shirt alongside Sir Alex Ferguson after sealing his transfer. Fotherby is proud of taking Leeds from the second tier to the Division 1 title and his legacy in leaving a stable Premier League side with a crop of young talents when he was succeeded by Peter Ridsdale in June 1997. He made sweeping changes to the commercial side of the club and certainly understood the power of publicity. Once, he says, Fotherby approached Diego Maradona's agent John Smith about trying to buy the Argentina star. John said, "Bill, you couldn't afford Maradona. No chance. Do you realize that you're talking £8 million? Everyone thought we were crazy. But I got Smith up to Leeds and we had lunch in the box, looking onto the pitch. Look Bill, he said. We're bringing him over for a match between England and the World 11. Now, the possibilities of him having a game at Leeds, what could you do? Fotherby flew to Rome in an attempt to sign Paul Gascoigne as a replacement for Cantona. But the deal was scuppered after the news of his arrival was leaked in the Italian media. Tony Dorigo on Cantona. I first came across Eric when he played for France under-21s and I played for England. We played at Highbury, he scored and was fantastic. He had this bad boy image and reputation, but at Leeds I didn't see that. He always seemed a bit aloof. I put that down to the language. He was a very good trainer. We had no problems with that whatsoever. There were no doubts over his ability. I remember one time in training he scored this incredible goal, and anyone who scored it would have gone absolutely crazy and run around like a lunatic. He just jogged back to the halfway line and was like, "Let's start again, that's what I do." We stood there thinking, okay, we've got this now. You could see the player. When he left, I felt we lost something, but how much is debatable. He could give us something a bit different. Eric scored important goals for us. Even so, he wasn't a guaranteed starter. Our strength was the balance of the team and the team spirit, and clearly the boss felt that it didn't work. Howard was very demanding of people to do certain things and Eric didn't do everything. We also didn't play to his strengths. He had to kind of fit into how we wanted to play. At Manchester United, it flipped and everything was built around him. With Leeds it would have taken him longer to be the player he became. At Old Trafford it was accelerated because they had a great group of young players who needed a Pied Piper. He was made for that role. Cantona shows off the 1992 Charity Shield alongside Leeds teammate Tony Dorigo. I said we could fix it up with the city council, make it a big do. But it mustn't leak out. We go have dinner after dropping him off. There are 2 people I know there, big Leeds fans. We saw you at the airport. Who are you going to sign? So I said, all I'm going to say is, think of Evita. Soon we were getting phone calls from Buenos Aires about Maradona. Directors of Arsenal and Tottenham are asking, are you going for By Maradona? Where have you got the money from? But Fotherby came closer to signing a replacement for Cantona in Paul Gascoigne. He flew to Rome to try and seal the deal, only to arrive at the England Stars villa in the dark and find Gascoigne was not there. I'll never forget, big gates, rang the bell, no answer. I went round and rang the next villa's bell. All of a sudden a big dog jumped up at the gate and frightened me to death. I went back and had dinner with the Lazio chairman. He told me, we'll do a deal, but you must not tell a soul that you're here for him. I agreed. Fotherby called United chairman Martin Edwards to discuss the availability of Denis Irwin. Edwards would not countenance the sale of Irwin and pushed through a move for Cantona. I got up the following morning and went down for breakfast. I got the Gazzetta newspaper. Headline, Fotherby, managing director of Leeds United, here to sign Gascoigne. The deal fell apart. Fotherby pops with energy as he talks about battling Brian Clough and hiring Wilkinson. After discussing the details with him in a service station car park, Wilkinson's wife was fearful that Fotherby was part of the mafia because of his favorite fedora hat. He may be best remembered as the man who sold Cantona, but the emotion in his voice is clear when he talks about his time at Elland Road. Leeds was the best thing I ever did, he says. It was my life. He didn't manage to get Denis Irwin, though. Brian Robson on Cantona. Eric had won the title with Leeds, so we knew he was a decent player with a good presence. All the lads were quite happy when Eric came in, because we knew that we were building on being a really good team after beating Barcelona in the Cup Winners' Cup in 1991 and winning the League Cup in 1992. We just missed out on the title that year because of the amount of cup games we had to play. When Eric came in, we knew that would strengthen us again. We were quite confident that he was the last piece in Sir Alex's jigsaw. He brought us that bit of presence, and he was that charismatic type of player that the fans love. Eric could create and score goals out of nothing, and that's the main attribute he brought to the club. He would keep himself to himself as far as the dressing room was concerned. On the training pitch, that was where players picked things up from Eric. Eric would go out and do his own warm-up before the group started working. He was also one of the first players to start doing warm-downs by himself, before it had been introduced. The one thing Eric always said was, he loved the British mentality. We'd have a bonding day once every 2 or 3 months, and we'd go out and have a bite to eat. He really enjoyed that. He took to the British culture and also the way we like to play football. Brian Robson said Cantona's arrival was the last piece in the jigsaw for United. Related articles previous. 1 next. Brighton can win at Old Trafford, claims Chris Hughton ahead. Manchester United legend Eric Cantona, Jose Mourinho will. Swansea boss Paul Clement insists his job is safe despite. Manchester United ace Juan Mata keen to emulate Ryan Giggs. Share this article. Share. 238 shares. Script dm.later, bundle, function, if, dm.rotator, new dm.rotator, p55, page size, 1, page count, 1.0, active class, active, rotate, false, $, number p55.share, .on, click, function, dms.facebook.post related.